Hello and welcome. My name is Brooke Oberg. Thank you for joining me today in my garage studio at the Bureau. This class right now is all on our psoas muscle, how we can relax and release our psoas muscle. Our psoas muscle lies deep inside our bodies. It's underneath our superficial abdominal muscles, underneath our internal organs, and it can get really wound up and overly tight from doing a lot of core strength and also just from sitting all day. Anything that we flex at our hip, like I'm doing now, puts stress and strain on our psoas muscle. So today's class is all about how we can restore our deep core muscles. So when we do strengthen and take part in our Pilates routine or whatever fitness regime we're doing, or even if you're sitting too much, that you can have that balance. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's begin lying on our backs. We'll just start nice and simple. You can do this, it's called CRP, constructive rest position. You can do this for as long as you'd like, but for today's class, we'll just take 5 full breaths in it. So you just want to feel your shoulders, your head, the back of the ribs, pelvis on the mat. So if you can't achieve all those bony landmarks, take a pillow underneath your head. If you feel like you can't ground your head, that's totally fine. Knees are bent, feet are flat, grounded, and about hip distance width apart. And you're just going to inhale, deeply breathe into the back lungs. Visualize the diaphragm pushing down and towards your pelvic floor, so the belly gets big. Feeling that, and then exhale, just gently zipper up from the front spine, from the pubic bone all the way up through the crown of the head. So again, put the breath in the back body, get big there. And then exhale, let gravity help you soften abdomen, soften ribs, upper sternum as you zipper up from pubic bone to crown of head. Gaze is soft. I'm just looking up at the ceiling. And I'm just noting and feeling it. I'm observing my body. Taking a moment just to rest, just to allow my psoas especially to soften. So around your groins, we really want that area to soften. Just one more deep breath here. And exhale. Soft belly, abdomen deepens, ribs soften, neck extends. So again, sometimes I like to stay here for as long as 10 minutes and just focus on my breathing and that inner experience, putting my focus on the tops of my hips, groins, and allowing that area especially to soften. And then from there, let's take it into a gentle pelvic tilt. So I'm going to arc my back lightly, down forward, letting my low back lift up off the mat. Press to my feet, exhale, imprint. So that gentle pelvic tilt, just to draw some gentle movement, gentle release there. And then I'm going to go into a side to side and allow my hips to sway side to side in a lateral motion. I keep flexing my feet so there's some integrity into my feet, into my pelvis. And then I'm going to continue with a pelvic clock. I'm going to inhale, arc and lengthen left to right. Exhale, imprint right to left. Twice more. So nice and easy motion here, opening my low back, sacrum. And then I'm going to reverse my pelvic clocks. I'm going to circle right to left and then left to right. I'm going to inhale, arc and lengthen my low back, right to left. Exhale, imprint, pressing through my feet. One more breath like that. And plenty. And then I'm going to pause neutral. I'm going to inhale, arc gently. Exhale, press to my feet, move through imprint, peel my back up, bridge, take a breath. And exhale, maybe rise onto the balls of my feet as I roll back down, articulating low back. Sacrum, inhale, exhale, navel to spine, peeling up. Inhale, rising the ball of foot, exhale, roll down. So just 3 more times with me, flow with this. Nice and fluid motion, like water, rising up and flowing back down. And again, arc gently. Exhale, rising up. Inhale, open chest collar, bone wide. Exhale, roll down. One more time, nice and gentle. Inhale, arc and lengthen, come up. And exhale, articulate one bone at a time, go down. Let's add to that. We're going to arc and lengthen. Nice and fluid. And then pause there. I'm going to keep my hips in bridge. I'm going to keep hugging in so my groins even here are soft. If I over push, notice my groins and my low back gets tight. So I'm going to soften my pelvis, hug my inner thighs toward one another. And then interlace my hands, press the palms up above my heart. I'm going to keep pressing up as I exhale, soften the back of my heart down through my low back. Release my tailbone, shoot my arms overhead, lengthening my spine out of my pelvis, decreasing my groins. And then I'm going to reset. Press, arc, exhale, peel up, bridge pose. Pause, inhale, keep the press up. As I exhale, roll down, back of heart, mid-back ribs, low back sacrum. And then I'm going to release my tail, stretch my arms, and allow my back to be supplely lifted off the mat. Feels so good. One more time. Pause, inhale, exhale, move through imprint, peeling up, nice and fluid there. Stay for a breath in, press up, exhale, roll down. And this time I'm going to send my arms behind me and shoot my legs forward in front of me. Squeezing my inner thighs, grounding my upper thighs to the mat, stretching here, lengthening here. I'm going to relax the effort of my arms overhead so my shoulders drop down. I'm going to bend my elbows a lot. Keep the legs between my hands really tight. And keep the legs long and reaching, or you can rebend the knees at tabletop. It's a neutral spine. It's okay if your low back supplely lifted off the mat. Groins deep, soft. Just nice release from my upper spine here. As I move my elbows to the left, I can turn to look over at my elbow, and then come through center and look over to my right elbow. Come center, and I'm going to keep softening the bottom ribs down. Good. Pause there, release my arms, inhale, exhale, lower my arms back down. Let's spend a little moment and just stretch around our hips a little bit. So I'm going to start by just pulling my right knee in and pressing my right thigh away. Pull in, get a nice hug there, and press away. And as I press away, feel the hamstring tone. I'm going to pause there, keep that strength, hands behind my hamstring, and then reach up through my right heel, and exhale, bend and lower. Maybe add the left leg reaching away in opposition. And then exhale, both knees bend in. Keep your hips relatively square, best you can. I'm going to pause one more time. I'm going to then point flex my right toes, really getting that connection all the way down to my right pelvis. There you go. And then go ahead, rebend the left knee. Or we'll bend your right knee and take a figure four. Flex to your foot so you're really protecting your knee and hip. And then let's lift the left foot up for figure four. And just take a 3 breaths here. Allow your low back to maybe roll up and off the mat. Grounding evenly through both sides of left and right low back. Keep opening chest, collarbone, and send some good breath in your right outer hip, right low back. Take one more full deep breath here. Let the belly sink, get soft and heavy. And then release that effort. Let's go side 2. So I'm going to go ahead, bend the left knee into my chest. I'm going to squeeze it in best I can and press it away. And squeeze it in and press it away. And press it away. Now keep that press away. Feel that hamstring. Keep it taut. Hands behind the hamstring and stretch the left leg up. Flex the foot and then repin. Optional, re-extend that right leg as well, simultaneously. And then bending both knees. So from your pelvic center, reach. Pay attention to the inseam of that thigh. The left leg reaching up to the mat of the left big toe. That right inner thigh reaching along through the right underneath, right through the inner outer heel. Okay, next time, hold the leg long and strong. Point flex your foot a couple times. And then rebend that right knee. Flex to your left foot, figure four. And we'll float the right leg up and take a couple deep breaths. Try to keep even grounding through right and left side of your spine. Allowing that low sacrum to maybe roll up a little bit. Keep flexing strong through your left foot, reaching pinky toe back to outer left knee, outer left hip. Stay in this one more deep breath in and deep breath out. And then go ahead, release. Very nice. So already, hopefully you're feeling a little bit more openness in your hips. And let's just go ahead and roll right onto our stomachs for a little bit of swan. Take a moment, stretch your legs nice and long. Keep the kneecaps, 10 toes pressing straight down. Now you want to keep the hip bones down and belly up, ribs down. Start with that much. Hands right by shoulders, roll the shoulders back, and inhale. On the count of 3, come up. Keep lifting shoulder heads, keep leveraging ribs, pelvis, lifting the space between, reaching those legs long. And then exhale, lowering back down. So maybe a count of 4 now. Inhale. For now, keeping your ribs down, so you're not overarching the upper middle spine. Keep lifting shoulder heads. Exhale, again, back down. Maybe a count of 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep adjusting the neck and head so that back and neck stays long. Keep reaching your legs. Ribs, pelvis stay heavy. Exhale, navel to spine, go down. And now for 6. Inhale. 6, 5, 3, 2, hold. And again, you're just finding that length, that reach out. Lengthening your spine, stretching your toes nice and long. Widening your chest collarbone. Exhale to lower back down. Now stay with that, or come up a little bit higher into a high swan. So shoulders stay lifted, hands press down forward, and inhale. For a count of 3. Exhale, navel to spine, lower back down. Count for a count of 4 now. Inhale, reach out to come up. Half toes pressing down. Stretching long. Exhale, lengthen to go back down. Maybe a count of 6. I'm trusting that you're counting. And exhale, lengthen to go back down. And let's take it for a count of 7. Now pause here wherever you're at in low cobra or in high cobra. Swan, draw the shoulders back. Look over your right shoulder. Shrug the left shoulder up a little bit. Lengthen that left side waist. Psoas. Come through center, look center. Shrug the right shoulder up. Draw the left shoulder back and look over your left shoulder. Lengthening a little from that right inner thigh through pelvis, right head of the shoulder. Come through center, look up, inhale. And then exhale, lengthen to go back down. Just very quickly, come up onto all 4 position. Inhale in neutral spine. Exhale, round your back, cat, release your head. And just push it back for a quick child's. Take a breath. Keep drawing your pelvis back, reaching your fingertips long and forward. Then look forward. Let's slide back onto our stomachs. Come onto your forearms. Take a little Sphinx pose now. Reach long to the inseam of the thighs. Press the forearms down and lift your chest up. I always find I always have to readjust my head and neck, drawing my chin down, throat back, so the back of the neck can stay long. Really lengthening my whole spine. I'm going to draw my inner thighs together best I can. I'm going to reach my right leg long and bend my right knee to get a nice hamstring curl. Hamstring is strong. And I'm turning my left forearm in, so I'm grounding down to the full ridge of my left upper, my lower arm. I'm going to reach my right arm back, hold on to my foot. If I have the ability, I'm going to take my inner foot and then wrap my fingers around so the heel of my hand presses down on the top of my foot. I'm going to pay attention to keep drawing my right shoulder head back, and then I'm going to rotate my torso forward so my hips, shoulders are square facing forward. As much as I'm pressing down on the top of my foot, I press up and back, resisting. Inhale, so there's a reciprocal relationship of my top hand pressing down and my foot pressing back up. I'm aware of my shoulders. I'm going to take one more deep breath in. Exhale, navel, spine, stretch up. I'm going to go ahead and release and take side 2. Find your Sphinx pose once again, pressing, reaching, opening my chest through the shoulders. So it's an active Sphinx. I'm lengthening always. And I'm going to keep my reaches. I'm just going to lift my left thigh up first, bend my knee, feel that hamstring. Draw my right forearm in, take my left hand to my outer foot, pause. Maybe you have the possibility to grab the inner foot and wrap the hand. Heel of the hand presses down, fingers forward. Pause. I'm going to keep trying to connect to my center, thigh to thigh. Inhale, deep breath into the back ribs. And then exhale, navel to spine. I'm going to press down as much as I keep pressing up. There's always some strength as I stretch. Drawing my chest forward, reaching my right leg back, left knee back. I'm here for one more breath. Breathe through my left pelvis, left hip, front hip especially, and then I'm going to go ahead and release. Very good. Again, I'm going to press down with my hands and knees, come up, find neutral, inhale, walk my knees in a little bit, exhale, round my back, release my head, inhale, exhale, child's pose, just in between. Take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, get heavier, stretch longer. Pull yourself back up. Let's once again lie back down on our stomach. All this prone work is key to releasing your psoas because we're not flexing. Okay, it's important when we're lying prone though that we're not tensing our low back. So drawing the pubic bones down, the right side, left side, and the hip points pressing down. That's going to keep a little bit more width, openness in our pelvis. Okay, so from here, hands reach down by your side, forehead to the mat. Legs can come apart hip distance a little bit. And just press down with your hands and lift the shoulders up that much. So feeling that is key. Wide collarbones so your shoulders aren't pulling you down. Lift the shoulder heads. Extend the neck and head. Gaze slightly forward and down. And keeping ribs and pelvis down, float the thighs, maybe arms up. Again, always lead from your center. So shoulders lift to lift the arms. And you're here. We're just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more. Use your exhale to extend your spine. Reach the inseam of the thighs, long in opposition to the crown of the head. And then gently lower back down, rest. You can give your hips a little waggle. We'll do that one more time. Hands press, shoulders lift, wide chest, collarbone. And then maybe float arms and legs up. Keep adjusting your head and neck. So your head is extending from your pelvis, from your tailbone. Thighs reaching, again, from your pelvis in opposition. And we just breathe. 2 more luxurious breaths. Big. Breathe. Open those back ribs. Exhale, empty, lengthen, front body, back body, side bodies. 1 more breath. Inhale. From the core of the pelvis, stretch your thighs, reach your spine. No tension in your low back. Keep hugging that low belly in. And then gently lower back down. Very good. Now you can stay with that or continue out on with me into a bull pose. So I'm going to first lift my shoulder heads. Float my legs. Float my arms so you can find this and stay here for deep breaths. Or maybe bend both knees, find that hamstring curl, reach back to the outer foot with your hands. Keep drawing your inner thighs together to draw the outer hip points down. And I'm going to press up with my thighs and my chest. But I'm finding more reach out than lift up. So I'm drawing my chest forward, drawing my inner thighs back. Keep a little bend in your elbows so you're not hyperextending your joints. Take 1 more deep breath. Inhale. Chest forward, thighs back, long in your front hips, long in your spine. And then gently release that effort. Let's do 1 more like that. So give your hips a little waggle. 1 more time. Inner spiral the thighs in a little bit. Draw the hip points down. Open that low back. Lift shoulders, lift arms, lift legs. Get long. This is plenty here for some of us. Otherwise, bend your knees, make sure those hamstrings are strong. When you do that, grab hold. Lift up, and then lift the chest to match. If you come too high up, and you lose the leverage of the rib cage pressing down, and that's helpful. Keep toning the space between ribs and pelvis as you kick back and draw forward. 1 more deep breath. Breathe deep. Allow the body to soften so you can receive the breath. And then streamline it through the bones. Keep the head as a natural extension of your spine. Open your collarbone wide. And then gently release. Go ahead, pull yourself up again, all fours. Neutralize your spine and tabletop. Round your back. Exhale, release your head, lift the back of the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, hips draw back, arms draw forward to your child's pose. Again, stay for 1 deep breath in. Breathe where you need it. Exhale, streamline your breath through the bones of your body. Pull yourself back up, all fours. And I have one more thing to do on our stomachs. So lie back down. So you can practice what we were just doing. Coming up into this nice prone position here. Shoulder heads lifted. You can go back to your bow pose or plant your hands underneath shoulders. Slightly forward if you need more space. Lift the shoulder heads. Make sure those legs are reaching. Kneecaps point down. Tone your belly in and inhale. Press down to curl the spine up. Feel the back working. Hands leverage down forward. And now we'll go ahead and take a look over our right shoulder and maybe bend your knee. Lean back, lift up, and maybe your head's there for your foot, or maybe not. Release that. Come through center, lift up, inhale, and turn to look over left shoulder. Keep lifting chest, and then maybe bend that left knee. Keep pressing down forward, lift your chest up, back, pulling your heel to your head. Come center, inhale, exhale, lengthen, go back down. Now ask yourself, maybe you can walk your hands back a little bit in an effort to curl up a little bit higher. Again, we're curling higher, but it's always that reach out. So shoulder heads lifted, thighs reaching, inhale, navel to spine, and lengthen your spine. Reach your thighs as much as you're reaching your spine. Lift up as much as you're reaching back. Again, let's try again. Look over right shoulder, lengthen, bending right knee, come through center, look over left shoulder, bending left knee. Draw the inner feet together, press with your hands, pull with your hamstrings, and look up. One more breath. From the upper inner thighs, through the pelvic center, rib cage, head, throat, wide chest, collarbone. And then release, like a wave, just articulate all the way back down. Inhale to table. Walk it in a little bit, round your back, exhale. Release your head, lift the back of the heart, inhale. Exhale, press back, child. Walk your fingertips out. Hopefully that's a nice release to your psoas in the front of your spine. And then pull yourself up, table. And let's go ahead, transition now onto our backs for a little bridge. For this bridge pose, have a block handy if you have it. Again, you don't have to, but it's great if you have one. So find your way all the way down. And we won't use the block quite yet. Let's just do a little mobility work. So bend your knees, feet flat down on the floor. And before we lift up into bridge, just take a nice external rotation with the left leg only and pull center. And right leg only and pull center. Keep the foot again flex. So there's some muscle tone. And you're integrating the foot up into the thigh, up into the pelvis. And now both legs out, inhaling, exhale, both legs hug in. And as the both legs hug in, narrow through the frontal hip points, pull toward one another, and let that low back sacrum wrap around to the front and open, expand. You can even place your hands on your hip points and give them a little squeeze, especially as the inner knees pull back in. One more time, inhale, exhale. Now let's hold that press out on the outer edges of the feet. Feet are still active. There's some tone. My knees aren't flopping down, but I'm pressing to the outer edge of my feet, broadening my low back sacrum. And I'm just going to take my right knee to my left knee, and then inhale back open to my book. Like my pages of my book are open. And exhale, left knee to right knee, allowing my left hip to come up, and then back open. So try that a couple more times. Even if that foot comes up off the floor of your mat, it's okay. Just keep some muscle tone, the foot relatively active. Keep opening your chest, collarbone wide. Here, so I'm not letting my shoulders come up off the mat as I rotate my spine here gently. And then adding on to this, as I go ahead, draw my right thigh to my left thigh, I'm going to draw an imaginary semicircle, drawing my knee up toward my armpit, left chest. And then come back, open my book, inhale. Exhale, left thigh to right. And then with the mound of my left big toe, draw an imaginary circle. My knee pulls up to my armpit, chest. And then inhale, open. And exhale, close. It's a nice gentle stretch from the back of your ribs, diaphragm, through the back of your pelvis, up to your knee. So So again, sort of hits our psoas line there, from the ribs through the pelvis, up and through the thighs, inner knee. One more time. Plenty. Inhale, exhale, come back together. Feet out of hip distance width apart. And let's come up nice and easy into our bridge pose again. So arc, inhale, find that supple lift. Exhale, press the feet and move through imprint, peel the spine, come up, bridge pose. Now anchor the head to the shoulders, anchor the base, middle skull, so you're not collapsing in your neck. Walk those shoulders under you a little bit. Hips are lifted, but not overly lifting, so you're not tightening your low back. You're drawing the inner thighs toward one another, frontal hip points in toward one another to open, expand low back. And now just working on a horizontal line, I'm going to shift my hips right to left and left to right. I keep my feet grounded, I keep my gaze up, I keep my shoulder heads heavy. And just as a nice, easy mobility through our low spine sacrum, allowing a nice fluid quality to our psoas from the inner thigh through the pelvic center up into our rib cage, diaphragm. Good. Pause in our easy bridge pose, and now I'm going to do some hip dips. I'm going to dip my right hip down and lift up, dip my left hip down and lift up. And again, just pay attention of that line from the inner thighs through the pelvic center, up into the diaphragm, base of ribs. And notice when I dip my hip, my groin really softens, and I release my psoas on that side. Feels really good on my low back. And pause, center. Take it now into a nice circle, or figure 8. So I'm going to dip my right, dip my left, lift my right, lift my left. Nice and fluid. The psoas, to be really healthy and supporting our structure, needs to be supple and fluid, not rigid and hard. So the more fluid movement we can bring in to our pelvic region, the better. And let's reverse. Dip the left, right, lift the left, right. So we're not doing a ton of stability work here. Obviously, we're working on our mobility. I'm creating suppleness and ease, the fluidity into our pelvic center so things can move. One more time. Dip, dip, lift, lift. Pause here in your bridge pose, and then exhale, simply roll it down. Now, if you have a block, I invite you to grab that now, and the more supportive the block, the better. This is a nice cork block, it's really stable. Although this isn't the most stable surface, I think it will be okay. So you're going to take that block. It has lots of settings to work with. This setting, or nice and tall. So for me, I'm going to use a tall setting, but you can adjust depending on your body. So I'm going to lift my hips in my bridge pose, and I'm going to sneak that block on the highest setting underneath my sacrum. And again, you want something to be supportive so you don't feel like you're going to wobble off. And I'm just going to pause and feel. Now that gives me support, so I can really allow my abdomen to sink with gravity, with my exhales. It's right on the middle of my sacral bone there, so my frontal hip points, I'm just trying to coax those in toward the midline, help me create more width and space in my sacrum. Shoulders are back, gaze at the ceiling. Notice if you're over lifting your neck, so find neutral there. And you're to stay here and breathe a few breaths. Going back to that CRP we did in the beginning, constructive rest position. So you're not falling asleep, you're actively awake as you allow the groins to soften, the belly to soften, to release a little bit. So deep one more deep breath in. Visualize the ribs expanding from the lungs, expanding in the back. And then exhale, gravities, just let the gravity soften you. And then just very carefully to start, keeping the hips level and rooted on your block here. Just slide your right leg long, inhaling. Reach the heel and exhale, slide it back in. And you may notice that it gets really tight there in the groin, front of the thigh, and maybe you'll need to pause. You don't go all the way out and extend fully through your knee. So just pay attention. So psoas are definitely connected into our quadriceps as well. And those quads can really pull on our psoas as well. So if our quads are overly tight from sitting or biking or whatever we do can really have an effect on your psoas. Just remember, we're one body, one piece, and everything connects somehow. Keep opening your chest. We'll just do one more time. And now, pause there. You can stay here with knees bent and breathe here. Again, just let gravity and the breath do its magic on your psoas. Let them release. You're feeling supported. Or maybe send the left leg out and the right leg together. And try to relax the legs best you can. So notice my toes are turning out a little bit. And I'm just keeping deep belly breaths here. Possibly hold onto your elbows and reach the elbows up and back overhead to find that gentle two-way stretch. And I'm just going to stay here for one more generous breath. Inhale, breathing deeply. Allow my diaphragm to get big, pressing down into my pelvic floor. And then as I exhale, the lungs empty, the diaphragm lifting, creating a little bit more space and softness in my abdomen. And then I'm going to release my arms back down. Take my one leg in and the other leg to follow. Gently press down through both feet, take the block out, and then lower my pelvis down. And just pause there, one more breath. And then again, allow that exhale to soften, gravity to help in that softening. And then roll to your side. Very good, and we're gonna come back up onto all fours. And I put my block down. So find neutral in your all four position. Okay, pause there at neutral. We're going to keep the knees underneath the hips, take a quick puppy pose. Reach my right arm out forward, my left arm out forward, take a deep breath in, lengthen from my pubic bone to my navel to the top of my sternum, chin, and then exhale, release my forehead down. So keep drawing your thighs back, groins deep, and extend your low back through the armpit, chest, fingers. Keep lifting, floating ribs. So you're not collapsing there, and you have this width and expansion in the back of the rib cage where the psoas attaches. Just lengthen. Keep drawing thighs back, arms forward, floating ribs up, and we'll take one more generous breath. Exhale, all the air out, and then walk your hands back underneath shoulders and gently pull yourself up all fours. Very good. Let's just take a couple circles here. Just two more in this direction. Trying to keep a neutral, long spine, so I'm not rounding, I'm not arcing. Keep a nice posture in my all four position. I'm just giving a little massage on my shoulders and my hip sockets here. Good. And then I'm going to slip my left leg forward into a nice lunge pose. Pause there. I'm going to go forward and back a little bit. Just nice and gentle. And I'm going to target my right psoas here. So notice if you go too far forward, your right groin will harden and your low back maybe sort of collapse. So you got to keep a little press down through front left foot, scissor the thighs in so that groin can be soft. And then walk your hands up onto your left thigh. Reach the right arm forward and up. And for today, I'm going to bend my right elbow and hold on to the outside of my left ear. Place my left forearm down. I'm going to inhale, press my left heel, scissor my thighs. Lift my right elbow point out of my upper right inner thigh via my psoas to my diaphragm and side bend over to my left. Maybe you can touch the floor with your left hand to the side of your left hip. And as I keep drawing my right thigh back to accommodate a right soft psoas, I'm going to keep that leverage down through my right shin bone, left heel. I'm going to keep my side stretch and maybe lean back a little bit. I'm going to take one more breath. Track that line from the upper inner right thigh through the pelvis, ribs, diaphragm, and then gently release. Very good. Hopefully that went pretty good. Let's go ahead and simply switch out your legs. Runner's lunge. But just keep that back knee down and go forward and back a couple times. Just chesting it out. Again, go a little bit too far forward. Feel that tightness in that groin, that low back collapses. And press down forward with your right heel. Softens the groin, lifts it up a little bit. Sustain that, come up, reach the left arm up, out of that left upper inner thigh through the psoas. Bend your left elbow, right forearm to thigh. And again, we're rooting down to lift up and side bend up and over to your right. Maybe take your right hand down to the floor. Keep drawing your left hip back, pressing your right heel bone down forward. Take a deep breath in. Keep that lateral stretch up and over to your right, but see if you can lean back just a smidge. Keep that chest open. Again, pay attention. You want a soft left groin, broad left low back, and find connection to that left elbow lifting right up out of that upper inner thigh. Soften the front ribs and gently come out. Very nice. Go ahead, sneak your right leg back out of that. And let's go ahead and find our way one more time back onto our stomach. We're going to do a couple more here. We're going to continue with our swim. We're going to take a moment, stretch one leg at a time. Reach the arms forward and reach the forehead down. Okay. Now again, leveraging through ribs and pelvis. Pull the waistline up and drawing the front hip points in toward one another. Possibly lift the legs up, arms up. Again, you don't have to go high, but you want to go long. Rotate palms face down. And inhale, lift the left arm, right thigh a little higher, and then come neutral. And right arm, left thigh a little higher, and neutral. And again, you're going for length, crossing the center line of your body. Nice and slow, one more set. Shoulders, hips stay square, best you can. Good. If this is too much, you can leverage down, opposite arm and leg. Lower, leverage down to lift and reach. One more slow here. Find that connection, right inner thigh, through the pelvic center, through the fingertips. Down, left upper inner thigh, through the pelvis, ribs, right fingertips. Continue to go slow like this. Find your connections. Keep paying attention to the low back. Make sure it's not overly gripping. Hips, shoulders square. Low belly in, ribs leverage down. Very good. Now, one more set slow, or we'll pick up our tempo for just 2 more breaths. So if you're gonna come with me, float everything up, and here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, get long, and release everything down. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl the 10 toes under. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, just pull yourself up to plank pose. Now we're going to end with a little bit of core, just to reintegrate everything. So we're going to start in our plank pose, even myself out, and then I'm going to press up, downward facing dog. And as I go to downward facing dog, I'm going to take my right hand to my left ankle, shin. Plant my hand, come forward plank. And lead with my pelvis, draw my hips high, groin soft, left hand to right outer shin, ankle. Inhale, plank. Exhale, navel spine. These are like X planks, I think they're called. Inhale, plank. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale. Just to reintegrate everything in a nice, gentle way. And if this is too much, come up into a full downward facing dog or plank. You can just come onto all fours and do opposite elbow to opposing knee, so right knee to right elbow, going to like a bird dog sequence. Let's just do a few more times. Inhale, exhale. As you go to your plank, make sure you're not dropping the pelvis too much and you keep those groins soft, even when you're plank. You keep that low back open and spacious. And most of all, you're trying to find connection. Find connection from the lower body through the pelvic center into the upper body. And not a tightness, not a rigidity, not a hardening, but a fluidity, an ease of movement. Okay, I've talked enough. Let's just one more time. Right to left. Inhale, plank. Exhale, left to right. Come through plank, pause in your plank, take a breath in, hug the midline, groin soft, abdomen deep, ribs are lifted, neck is long, and then gently lower the knees. Take a breath in, arc your spine just gently, supplely, exhale, round your back, release your head cat, lift the back heart, inhale, press it back, child's exhale. Breathe, take a breath, empty completely. And let's end on our backs. with my favorite, happy baby. Okay, because ultimately the goal in all this exercise we do, this movement we do, is to connect us to our essence and just connect us to the joy of our youth, how we were. And babies are just a great image because they're so simple, they're so relaxed. So let's connect to our happy baby within, pressing your feet up, pulling your feet down. Again, reciprocal actions. So as much as you're pulling your feet down, you're pressing your feet up into your hands, drawing the shoulders back. Deep breaths here. And again, this happy baby can roll around a little bit. See, it feels good. You can maybe play with straightening one leg and the next. Or we're just here for a couple more breaths. And again, target the breath, hand in the back ribs. Let the diaphragm expand, let the belly expand, then exhale, exhale, belly soft. Let those hips get a little bit deeper there as you press down on your feet. Or finding a deeper connection in your hips. Neck is long. Take one more deep breath. And exhale all the air. Feel that gentle stretch in low back, inner thighs. And then plenty, maybe stretch both legs nice and long from your pelvis center. And then keep the legs long and wide and draw your hands to the outer thighs and zip the legs back in. Bring the knees to your chest. Lower the feet down. So you roll to your side. And there you have it. That's your class to help you relax and release your psoas. So think fluid, think water, think mobile. Nothing too holding, nothing too hard, nothing too constraining. So I hope you find that fluid of movement and you just feel so good and free in your hips, low back, and rest of your body. Okay, until next time.